Yeah, I almost said good morning, everybody. Wow, we're doing well today. Good afternoon. This is our 2:15 slot for our virtually authentic engagement strategies for online learning. And as I stated this morning, a lot of you guys are already doing these in your classroom. We're just going to try and show you how you can tweak it to provide the same kind of strategies for your learners online. So, and as Mike said, it will be recorded. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box, or at the end, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. Mike and Diane are the experts, and they will be answering you as we go. So let's start with our learning targets. We only have one today. And it's basically to learn and engage in online engagement activities. So we're going to take some of those tried and true. There's a couple new ones, and we're going to show you how you can put it on your Google Classroom, Google Site, Google Chat to kind of provide some kind of unique ways for them to become engaged. So the first one I want to do, one thing I think is very, very important that you should do is provide some active learning opportunities. In the classroom, you wouldn't have hopefully your students sitting the entire period or the entire day. You want them up and moving around. And this is just one way that you can provide that through the online learning. Some of you guys have used Goosechase. I know Phil has. And some of you guys have not. So we're going to kind of go through. We're going to take a look at what Goosechase is. Technically, it is kind of a online, it's an online scavenger hunt that you can set up. You can plug any kind of learning in there you want, any kind of items that you want them to find or do. It is entirely up to you. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to go on. It is called goosechase.com. And when you get on that, this is the screen you're going to see. And of course, I have already set up an account. And of course, I saved my password so I don't have to remember it. So this is what you would do. Now, it says try it for free, but I will tell you that because of the quarantine and the homeschooling and online schooling, it is free until this ends. So this would be a great time to really kind of take advantage of it and see what you can get out of it. So I'm going to go to right next door. It's My Games. I'm going to push that, hopefully. There we go. It's a little slow today. And these are some games that I've already done. So when I save them, they become my games. So if you ever want to go in and use them again, you see at the very beginning, it's a duplicate of Creative ELA Vocabulary Review. Evidently, it means I've used it before. You can also see if you click that little settings button, share game, duplicate the game, or delete game. If you're done using it, you can always delete it. I just keep them because you never know when I might need to use it again. But we are going to go to new game. That's going to set up a new game for us, hopefully. Oh my goodness. Come on, internet. There we go. So this is kind of the first page of your Goosechase game. And they want the game information. And this is what the students will see when they log on. So you can upload an image, easy to do. I previously saved a rainbow. So I'm going to put that image there. So we're going to be talking about rainbows. If this was a kindergarten, I know they talk about the rainbows in kindergarten. So this could be a kindergarten lesson. And Goosechase is really for any grade. You modify it to fit whatever grade, whatever subject you have. So I have my image. Now I'm going to call it the game name. And I'm just going to call Rainbow Color Find for them. And then you have the game description. So basically, it's whatever you want them to do. These are the instructions. So I'm going to have fun finding the colors of the rainbow at your house. So they know they're going to be finding all the different colors of the rainbow. Okay? The game location, that's optional, and because this is going to be online, you really don't need that, as well as the game password. The game password you don't need, but I find it's kind of nice because then you know the students are actually in the set program. And I just very easily just make a number. Usually I do 1, 2, 3, 4. So once they log on and they pick the rainbow button, it's going to ask them for a password. They type in 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're set to go. So we've kind of, if you see, we've included everything that we need. And once you are filling this out, you can see in the blue kind of the descriptions of it too, if you kind of get lost when you start yourself. So I'm going to save and continue as it's spinning. There we go. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So next, you notice our game info is done. We're moving now on to missions. And missions is what you want your students to do, whether it's typing an answer, whether it's taking a photograph of something, a video of something, or you can even post the coordinates that you found that item in. So you can decide kind of what you want your students to do. So up here at the button, it says add to mission list. You can search the missions in your mission bank, which we'll do that in a minute. But let's say here's my mission name, and I'm going to do rainbows because then that's going to put it in that set category. And then your mission description. Now, if you remember on my description, I want them finding the colors of the rainbow. So for this mission, I want them to take a picture of the first color in the rainbow. Okay, take a picture of, I could say something in your house. Of something in your house of the first color in the rainbow. So they would have to try and remember what the first color in the rainbow is. They could go to something in their house and take a picture. Now you notice up here, you can see that it's a picture. If you put the arrow down, you can see, you can take a picture. You could send that as a text. You could have said, type in what the first color is, or again, you can do your GPS mission. We're just going to leave it as a picture. Over on the right-hand side, you see the point value. You can give this any amount of points that you want. You see, you can customize it and say, okay, for this one, because all they have to do is kind of look it up, we're just going to make it 100 points. And then you can assign that. So once it's done, you can attach an image if you want to. You can attach a link. Maybe you want them to actually see a rainbow, give them a hint. You can attach that. You can attach a picture of the rainbow, but you don't have to. I kind of make it hard for them. I make them think. Once you're done, you're going to save the changes, and you see it is now here ready to go. Okay, so let's say I wanted to pull one from one of my mission banks. These were the questions that I have asked in previous games. It kind of keeps them in as a bank. All right, so let's say I'm gonna look here. This is kind of made to go out into the out into the community. Let's see, let's do this one. What a year. Even though it doesn't really kind of go with rainbows, I'm sure you'll talk about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So you could say, find a coin with any denomination from 1999. So they would have to look at that. Easy, you don't have to retype that. All you have to do is go over here and add it, and then go back up to your mission list, and there it is right there. And you will see that is a picture as well. You can take a picture or a photo or a picture or a video in this caption. Okay? Any questions so far on that? Okay. Next comes the game script. Okay, and you will see the game script allows you to schedule automatic events to take place during your game. So you can choose to change the status of the mission or to be available or to expire. I like to have them, once they submit them, I like to have them go away, especially for the younger kids. It lets them focus on what else they need to do to finish this mission. Okay, so that's what that is. Honestly, I kind of leave it alone because I just want the kids to really participate and not have any limitations. Next is participants.
Renee, we have a question from the chat room.
Okay.
What's a common number of missions for each assignment? Is there a recommendation?
Good question. Good question. I was going to get to that. I usually do around 10. It depends on your group, though. If you're using the younger grades, of course, you're going to want probably 5 or 6. The older grades can handle up to 15. I would say no more than 15, but it also depends a lot. Getting on down to the start and stop, you'll be able to assign a time limit as well. So I really, somewhere in between 10 to 15, I think is the best. It kind of gets them up and going, and it gives them a decent amount of time to do it in. So I hope that answers your question. Honestly, you could have 1 on there. You could probably go up to 50. I've never done 50. I've done, the most I have ever done is 15. And that was well worth the 45 minutes that I had scheduled for it to be. Okay, so next is the game mode, the participants in game mode. Now you notice up there, you can have 2 different ways of doing this. You can put them in teams, which, I mean, you could try to do that in your Google Chats. You could assign teams and they could talk to each other. But truthfully for this, I think for your online learning, probably the individual is the best way to go for this. So that means each person is going to be playing his own game against everyone else, okay? Then you're going to scroll on down and you notice because I'm not putting them in teams, I don't need to make any team group names. Let me show you. If I do go back up here and do teams, all right, so you see the pre-create teams, which is optional. If you create a new team, you're going to assign and then if you want to put an image of a cardinal, then you can create it and it will come down in here. So that way then you can assign who you want to be in what team. But again, since we're doing it online, I think we're just going to stick with individuals. That way then I do not really need to create any player profiles, okay? All right. Then comes the start and stop. This is where you have the decision of how much time do you want to use this. And if you look, there are many, let me scroll down. There are many different ideas or suggestions, I guess I should say. I've had them where they are 15 minutes, but you can go up here and plug in your own. Oops. Or you could have it a couple days. And I was talking to one teacher, she was going to do this, and she said, I think I'm going to assign it on Monday and give them till Wednesday to get it done. That's a fair amount of time, and that will probably be a 10 to 15 question there because it gives them plenty of time to do that. But I did it at one school. She was going to use it as a March Madness thing, and she had it on for 15 days. So it's really up to you and how you want to use this and what you want to use it for your start and stop mode. So whenever you do get that ready, click that back, you'll see start game. This is when it starts. When I push start, It will no longer be a draft, and it will go to an actual game. Be careful when you start it, because that starts the time. So if you set this up thinking I'm going to roll this out Monday, I'm just going to push start game Sunday night, it's probably going to be over and done by Monday. So what you can do is just assign this to the kids, and then when everybody's ready, you can go in and start that game. Then they will get the code. You're saying, where's the code? Here's the code right down here. And when they log into goosechase.com, they will get, well, honestly, I would say download the app on your phone, on your iPad. It looks like little goose feet. I said duck feet one time, but it's goose feet. When they click that, they will ask for the code. The kids type that in, and they're set to go. After it will ask for the password too. Then they're set to go, and the game will come up. Okay, so if I start the game, you will see up here it is now live, and it counts down the time. Now you can, while you can see down here the live scheduled games, they're going on as we speak. You can monitor this for that time. You can text the kids and say, you know, I see you guys are doing a great job. You know, you only have 2 more days left. You can do little reminders like that. If you want to, this is what I like so much about Goosechase. If you go down to the activity feed, this is where when your kids submit those pictures, or they type the answer, or they have the video, or the GPS, it comes right on here. So you are able to see everything the kids submit. I love this, because if you get a very creative child that goes above and beyond finding something that you want them to do, you can always award them extra points, which is really great. But just to go back and look at the activity feed is awesome. It's nice to see the videos. It also lets you see if they're really comprehending. And I said this morning, you could do this as an opener to your lesson. You could do it as a midway check, or you could do it as the fanfare finale to see if they have comprehended what you've been learning. So this is where the activity feed will come in. Like I said, when the kids click on a button, one of the questions, when they click on that question, they're going to get a question, and then it goes right into, if they want a picture, it comes up a picture. So they're going to find that picture. All they have to do is kind of push the button. It takes the picture. If they like what they've taken, they can submit it. There's a submit button. If they don't like it, there's a retake. So they can do it a couple different times if they'd like. But once they submit it, it leaves their list to do, or list to find. So that's whenever you get to see it, whenever they've submitted it. If you get down to Leaderboard, this kind of lets you know who's in front, who's leading, who needs help. And it's great to post that if you're doing this a week at a time. It's great to post that each day, saying, Diane's in the lead today, Mike's second, and see what's, who can change throughout the days. This is your submission button. As soon as it changes, there you go. You can see them and you can save them right here. And then if you want to, it will also show you the teams with the most points. It will kind of categorize that. And it will also do alphabetically. If you group them, you'll be able to see each team as well. And everything they submit, it comes up basically a little square, and you can click on that and kind of view it for later. And I will go back and try again, but I did try this morning to show you one of my games, and it would not let me show you some of the submissions. We will try it though. Nope, it does not. I think probably because it is so old and I didn't really save it, because I didn't think the superintendents wanted you guys to see their fun time. But that you can save it and you can have that forever. Goosechase, like I said, is a great way to bring in whatever you are working on. It's a great thing. Even, we talked yesterday about icebreakers. This is a great icebreaker as well. But I've mostly used it in the content that I'm teaching in. And if you go back and look at some of my games, there are many, many ways. I've done drones. When Mike and I did our drone, we had it. It didn't work, but it was because of us. Grade 2, we did nouns and verbs, word families. We had a nature scavenger hunt, which might be good if they're stuck in their house. For those of you that are phys ed majors, we had a fitness center scavenger hunt. So they had to do different physical activities. Art would be another great one. Math, we've done, let's take a picture of a right angle, take a picture of an obtuse angle, things like that. So there's many, many things that you can do with this. I'm just showing you, I did it makey that they had to do. STEM is another great one to do it in. So there's many different ways that you can use this. I even used it as a President's Day engagement. I used the holidays, which is very, very easy to do as well. If you go to New Game and you're thinking, what can I do? Oops, nope, I don't want that. Sorry. If you're thinking, what can I do? You can search, and there's a wide web of them that other people have posted that you might want to use their game as well. Now, I will tell you again, goosechase.com or .edu is free. That's the basic package. But right now, they've sent out an email. They're letting everyone have everything, even the premium, for free. So if you're considering it, which I really hope you do, this is the time to do it because you get full access. The basic, I'm pretty sure the basic only limits it to 4 groups. So you can have 10 people in a group. So it's only for 40 people.
So it's the Educator Plus that is available for free right now, not premium. So
isn't it?
No, it's the Plus. It's 10 teams per team game, or up to 40 participants for individual. The normal free one is only 1 live game at a time. So Greg had mentioned in the chat, Greg, in the Plus version, you are able to run multiple live games simultaneously. Yes. But the limit in the free is 1 live game and 5 teams.
Thank you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to go back and reread the email they sent us. But still, it is one that, and you can do a lot with just the basic. I worked on that. I used that for a good 1.5 years before I finally moved up. And that was only because I had more groups running it at one time. But the Goosechase is a great scavenger hunt to try. And it's one that you can kind of take attendance, I wouldn't say assessment, but you can kind of take a formal assessment and see if your kids are getting it at all. So Goosechase is one. All right, so let me go back now. Are we good still, Mike?
Yeah, the video still looks good. Yeah. Still clear.
Okay, great. I don't know what was wrong this morning. Don't know. So another one, and I know you guys have worked on these in your classrooms forever, and that is choice boards. It's the tic-tac-toe boards that you put different things in each of the boxes, and they can pick and choose, but they have to make a tic-tac-toe out of it. I always start with the center of the tic-tac-toe board. So once they do that, they can branch out however they want. If you really want to amp it up, you can have them do the entire tic-tac-toe board. But again, it depends on your level of kids and the rigor that you do with them. So this one just happens to be on the New England Colonies, the tic-tac-toe menu directions, okay? So again, they're gonna start with the middle, which is number 5, and then they could go whichever way they want. So let me go to the next one. Here is my tic-tac-toe board. And of course, I have the middle highlighted just to direct them that this is what you're doing first. And if you see, there is blue highlighted. That will take them, you can embed that in there, and that will take them to that area of focus. So let me see if I can do this. Nope, We tried this one. Well, it's okay. We can do that. So there you go. That's going to take you to the page to show you and show them how to do a mindmapping.com. So you can embed those right in. And like I said, this normally you wouldn't have any of those added features, but because it's online, you can also give them help. If we go back to what I had before, you can also see the resources that I'm giving them in order to complete this choice board. And of course, you know, you can tour the New England colonies, videos. There's videos in here, there's articles in here. There's some pictures with captions and things like that. So there's a lot of information, a lot of resources that they need to look through in order to do this. Now, again, this is not something you assign Monday morning and expect to have done Monday at lunchtime. So this is kind of a 2-3 dayer at least, depending on what other work that they have. Once they complete it, they can send it to you, and they can check off or just highlight their box so that they know that it is there. I know you guys have done choice boards. I know you still do them. This is just one tool that you can switch over to online and keep going with that. And I know the kids like it as well. They love having the choice and they love owning their learning. So the next one is make it fun with STEM, STEM, STEM. As you know, I am the elementary STEM coordinator at the IU, Mike's the high school. And it's amazing in your learning, in your teaching, in your providing online services, how much you can incorporate STEM into your classes. I don't think I've gone through any content that I can at least apply a science or technology or an engineering or a mathematics challenge to go with it. And now we have arts, so you can also include the arts in that and make it STEAM. But this is a great way to get those kids interested, great way to pull them in. If you are stuck, if you want to try this and you're like at a complete loss as to how you want to incorporate it, that's when you email Mike or myself, and we can kind of direct you and guide you to some activities and some challenges that might work with your content area. And I've also listed, now this is just a short list. There are plenty of STEM websites that fit any occasion. They really do. And if you look at the first one, codemonkey.com, that one is paid, but because the schools are closed, if you link to this one down here, it is free. So here's what I say. If it's free, take advantage of it. See if you like it or not. You can see the rest of them are free. If you see the CoSpaces, it's also providing webinars for teachers. So that's a great one for you as a teacher to get on and try and see how you can apply those into your teaching. At the very bottom, the Left Brain, Craft Brain section, they have thousands upon thousands of activities that you can use. You can Google search in it. And I'm sure anything with that word will come up, but they do have some really, really cool ones, and that ranges from kindergarten to college. So I'm sure you will be able to find one for your class. And again, this is one, my daughter is a STEM teacher, so she has to provide online learning for her kids. And she is giving them a STEM challenge on Monday. She has a video going out, and it is with things around their homes. Now this is, as Mike states, STEM without the stuff, which is basically how STEM started and the reason behind STEM. They are finding just material at their house to do the challenge. So she's also finding some STEM challenges that list some basic materials so that they're sure to be able to find them. So the Left Brain, Craft Brain is a great one. Also, for you younger teachers, if there's any out there, if you have little hands, this is a website and it's great. I get these either weekly or monthly, but I think I've been getting them weekly now that with the coronavirus. It's called Little Bins, Little Hands, and it says Science Meets Art for STEAM. So right here are 5 activities that those kids could do with the materials at their house. And like I said, my daughter's doing one. She's making lava lamps, and it basically uses a water bottle, oil, water, and food coloring. So that's all provided at their house, hopefully. And it's a simple but yet very cool STEM challenge for them. And then they go on and explain what they did. They show a video of theirs and kind of explain it to them. That's how she's going to get feedback on that. But there is a ton. I know on our, we had talked about a resource page. We are going to list all of those resources, and I'm sure we'll probably miss some, but there literally are a ton of STEM out there. So as a STEM teacher, as a STEM encourager, I really, really, really want you to at least try one STEM challenge while you're off on these days. And one of the last ones, I don't think it's the last one, include a major media-based project. These kids love to get on Facebook. They love to film themselves. What better way to kind of get your interaction across is to have them kind of video their summary, video what they're doing, if they're doing a science experiment, video the steps involved in that. I did have one, I was explaining this morning that he had to do a poem. So he chose this poem, literally dressed up as the person and videoed himself as that person reciting the poem. Almost like a poetry out loud contestant. Totally awesome. So I'm sure if you just give them a couple guidelines, they will take that and run with that, and they'll be very, very creative. And one more is the iMovie. If you haven't tried that, this is another app that you can click on. I've used it on my iPad. I've used it on my phone. You click on the app, you film what you want, and then what you basically do is transfer those little clips, which I think 20 seconds is the most that they can film. They drag it to where they want it. And usually we've used it as a trailer. And so they can also get their summary across if they're summarizing a book or whatever you're teaching them, that they can kind of do it that way too. Very, very cool. It kind of takes that recording and that video to the next level. And it's very easy, it really is, for the kids to do. And this is just kind of where, this is the teacher page on, if you get on the iMovie, and it kind of explains how you would use it in the classroom. And there's many, many different ways that you can use it. So there's that one. And finally, what I just want to say is start small. This is for some of you, your first time doing this. This is for some of your kids, the first time that they're ever going to have to do this. So we don't want to overwhelm them. We want to start small. And I kind of have Rome wasn't built in a day, neither is online learning. We're doing this as we go, we're kind of flying the plane as we build it. But I think I want you to just find one tool that you're really, really interested in and get to know it, work on it, play with it, and get comfortable with it. So whenever you dish it out to the kids, you'll be confident in what they're doing and you'll be able to answer their questions. Your frustration level will be reduced, and I can guarantee that you will see the engagement level in your kids going up. So I'm sure you'll find many ways to do some of these. And as I challenged the group this morning, if you do these, which I hope you do, please share with us. Please somewhere post it, post what you did, and that way we'll be able to share with other people, other teachers that have questions that, maybe they don't know how to use it in their classroom. Maybe we can show them some of your examples. So we'd love to see what you're doing. And that's kind of my challenge for you. Find one of these, do it in your classroom, and then report back to us. So that's it. I think I even went over 5 minutes because I like to talk. So anybody have any questions that we could answer? I know Mike has been typing while I've been speaking. If you do try one of these and you have a question, or you have a question later that you woke up thinking about it, you can just email Mike, Diane, or myself, and we will be happy to help you out with that. So, are there any questions? No, I don't want to take up your time. We'll be here a little bit, but I don't want to take up your time if we don't have to. I know I appreciate the time that you gave us. If you do have any questions later on, you can just ask away. Mike will be recording this, so if you want to go
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was wondering if can we do this on the computer, like our laptop computer, and then they do it on their phone? Like, we don't have to use our phone to get this organized, correct?
No, not at all. What you're going to do, you're going to set it up, you're going to save that, and then you can go in and assign it to the kids, and they can bring it up on their phone. There's an app. They can bring it up, and as soon as they click that the little goose feet, it will ask them for the code.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Sure.
Phil says he's created duplicate Goosechase games for each period he teaches. That's wonderful, Phil.
Go Phil.
Go Phil. Yeah, I know Phil has done this.
So there's a question about whether or not the laptop cameras can be used.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. But when I first started this, I had 5th and 6th graders. And even though they were gifted, I was worried about them knocking the laptop all over the building, taking pictures, especially when it wasn't my laptop. It was the school's. So they can, if they have cameras, they can do it as well on there. I would just caution you that just be careful with the computers, that's all.
The other, from a technical standpoint, some schools do disable webcams on laptops based on grade level. And also because you're running the things through a web page, the browser will ask for the right to use the camera. So if a student had previously clicked no, that camera may not be available. That might be something that has to be granted permissions wise. So to have the students test it before you give them something to grade. Maybe just as simple as in Google Slides, for example, you can insert a picture from the webcam. That might be a good way. You could have them, take their picture and write a little bio or give you an update what they've done the last couple of weeks, and that will verify that their cameras work.
Right. Yep.
And Greg has an excellent point about, but I think you alluded to that, Renee, that you create the scavenger hunt on the website, then the children can use the app on the phone.
Yes, when you create, it's on the computer, it's on the website. That's in the left-hand bottom side, you will see the code. That's what the kids will see when they log on. They will ask for a code. You type that in, and they will ask you what game you want to join. You click on it, and then they'll ask for the access, the password. Anybody else? These are great questions. Thank you.